The regular board meeting of the Warrensville Heights City School District for Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. Dr. Rock, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Freeman.
Here.
Mr. Fuller.
Here.
Mrs. Moomin.
Here.
Mr. Roberts.
Here. Next, would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Next, we have item number 1.3 of the approval of the agenda. Are there any additions or alterations to tonight's agenda?
No additions or alterations.
All right, board, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move item 1.3, approval of tonight's agenda for December 18th, 2024, regular board meeting.
I'll second that.
Thank you very much. It's been moved and seconded. Dr. Rock, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
Mr. Fuller.
Yes.
Mrs. Moomin.
Yes.
Mr. Roberts.
Yes, motion passes 4-0. Next, we have the approval of the minutes. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move item 1.4 on tonight's agenda, approval of the minutes, and that's for the date of November the 20th, 2024, regular board meeting.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Dr. Rock, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Fuller.
Yes.
Mrs. Moomin.
Yes.
Mr. Freeman.
Yes.
Mr. Roberts.
Yes, motion passes 4-0. Next item on our agenda is public participation. Dr. Rock, Mr. Jolly, do we have any participation cards?
No, we don't have any public participation.
All right, thank you. That will take us to item 1.6, our Tiger Way Award winner, Ms. Hunt.
Thank you. And good evening, board.
Good evening as well.
And Tiger family.
Whole family.
Whole family.
Stepkids.
Yeah. I am pleased to be able to present to you our second quarter Tiger Way Award winners. One of the classified staff and one from our certificated staff. And again, these nominees are nominated by their peers. And so the first one is for our certificated class member, Ms. Rogers. Ms. Rogers should receive the second quarter Tiger Way Award because she goes above and beyond every day for her students and the school, where she stands up and owns it. Ms. Rogers has a passion of growth and always wants what is best for her students. You will hear her daily on the morning announcements with student leaders who are the guest speakers of the day. Ms. Rogers exemplifies the power of team and is on the staff retention team, where she plans monthly activities for all staff to feel a part of the team and have open conversations. In conclusion, Ms. Rogers' dedication, passion, and commitment to both her students and colleagues make her the ideal candidate for the second quarter Tiger Way Award, as she truly embodies the values of stand up and own it, power of team, and passion for growth within our school community. Join me as I have Ms. Rogers come on up here, Ms. Rogers.
I just want to say thank you so much for this being the recipient of this award. I just love what I do, the passion to each day walk in and put my best foot forward for the students that I service, and just at all and around, just making it a great day daily. That is my goal. So
Right,
thank you.
Appreciate that.
David, can you come take a picture?
Can you get on here? All right. All right.
Okay. And our next award winner for the second quarter Tiger Way goes to Miss Megan Jordan, Building Secretary for the Warrensville Heights Early Childhood Center. Miss Jordan goes above and beyond to supply the principals, students, and staff with all of their needs. Miss Jordan is exceptional. On her days off, she will come in to do the attendance and make sure it is done correctly and on time. Miss Jordan extends Miss Jordan extends helping with our children who sometimes need a change of pace and environment. She is very helpful and knowledgeable about many things going on in the building. She truly represents Tiger Pride. And in her own words, I don't care what time it is or what I'm doing. This is my building, and I will do whatever I can to make things run right. Join me as I have Miss Jordan.
Listen, I'd like to say one thing about Miss Jordan. Miss Jordan, for those that don't know, was a student of Warrensville Heights. She went all the way through our school district, and for her to come back and be an employee and to get this prestigious award means so much to all the students. This is what you can be. This young lady, she lived on my street. I've seen her grow up, and I'm so proud of her to get this award. So I just wanted to make notice that we're very proud of you, Megan.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm not really sure what to say because I'm super nervous, but I do appreciate the award. I am very thankful for it, especially for this to be my second school year in the district. I love it at the ECC. So, I mean, I just do what needs to be done. That's it.
Thank you.
Congratulations again to both our award winners. And at this time, I would like to honor and recognize our award-winning world travelers. Let's hear it for our Warrensville Heights marching machine. Mr. Wilson.
Good evening, Mr. President, board members, Superintendent Jolly. We just come here today just to give our thanks and just to let you guys know how much we appreciate everything that you guys have done to allow our scholars this opportunity. So what we did was we put a video together, and we wanted to be able to show, first we have a voiceover from one of our staff members, teachers, and a parent of the marching band. She couldn't be here today, but she just wanted to have a few words to you guys. So.
First, I would like to thank the board for allowing the band to engage in this historic event. I would also like to thank Mr. Jolly and Principal Bishop for allowing me to go. My name is Jenny Peoples, and I am a proud alumni, teacher, and parent of a band student. I was allowed to go with the band as a chaperone. Many of the band students call me auntie because I'm always there, working and helping, because this is a joy for me. But going to Hawaii with the students was not only amazing, but it also was eye-opening. As an alumni, my class was not able to attend any trips out of town, and to see the students get to experience life on a greater scale was amazing. One thing that I think that you guys should know is that our band stood out. We showed pride. I got stopped so many times by locals and people from all over the world who just praised our band and spoke about how well-mannered they were, how well-dressed they were, and how well they played. Being in that parade allowed me to see that there are greater levels that I also have not achieved. For many of the kids, it was their first time flying, and the excitement kept them up all night. I just want to again thank you, and I want to ask that we create a routine of exposing our kids. I think that graduating from Warrensville Heights City School District is one of the best places in the world, and I think that the only thing that we can improve on is more exposure outside of the state of Ohio. So again, I just want to thank you all for allowing me to go, and I hope that you see from the videos and even from the feedback from the students that this is an amazing thing that we need to continue. Lastly, I just want to say that it is important that we do send some chaperones. I am willing to be a chaperone with the band. Mr. Wilson and his team does an amazing job. But I do think that it's important that there are extra people there just to help. Because some of the kids just needed a little bit of help sometimes. So again, I want to thank the board. I want to thank Mr. Jolly, Ms. Bishop, and Mr. Wilson and his team for exposing our students and taking care of them. Thank you.
And that was before the video presentation. I just want to acknowledge my team because you guys just see me all the time. But my right-hand man is Mr. Thomas in the back. He's my assistant, and my team that come with me came from me from down the street. So they understands loyalty. And Miss Holmes is over my auxiliary. And she's assisted by Miss Tanya Cleveland. And because it's a lot to unpack, so I'm just going to let the video speak for itself. And if there's any questions or anything else after that, we still have some other things that we want to present you guys with. It's just not ready yet. So, but we do have the video presentation. Okay.
We got time.
At the bottom.
The sound there.
We hit the,
We started.
Bring it all the way back, man.
Can you bring it all the way back, Dave? Okay.
It's more often we have ready for roles of the children are respecting this one are very limited. They have very strict line of respect for women and allow them to use their
It's a world we believe everything was in place with the everything else is set with the family. The young man's role in the family, the provider. This is 7, 8, 9-year-old, you know, everything. They raise the animals, they fish, they plant, cook the food, serve the food in the house. Your grandparents, your parents, your sisters speak first. The people you serve today are those who are there out there. And now it's their turn to serve, and then one day their turn will come.
So we talk about leadership skills in here. So there are 3 C's to leadership. The
Not only did I learn many things that I wouldn't have learned in school, but I also became closer to realizing the lives that the men and women who serve our country live.
In spite of that, the men over there, the Navy supplied that boat, got into wooden boats, and they plowed into that inferno to come to the aid of the men here at Ocean Grove.
During the Pearl Harbor ceremony, we played God Bless America and Stars of the Band, with the bands from all over the world. But the best part about the ceremony was that I got to put the ladies on the necks of veterans that survived Pearl Harbor and the ones that are still serving us today.
The Pearl Harbor Memorial was honestly a beautiful sight to see. It was an honor to be able to visit the Pearl Harbor Memorial site and honor the gallant men and shipmates who served during the attack on Pearl Harbor on the USS Arizona.
Years, and I've done this for 19 years. Took my breath away. Just got paid off that song. No, for real, I do. Just really kept it really good. Anyway, and some other ones that I really like, but that's because I'm older. Not everybody here that performs from the education department, we give tribute performances of albums so that you remember what you did today. And you might not realize what you did, but you folks had the Arizona Memorial in your backdrop, the Mighty Mo on your side, and you make your own history today.
And again, that was just a small piece that we tried to bring Hawaii back here to show you guys how much we appreciate it. And I know it's, the time is of the essence, but, we do have some students that, for the most part, never been on planes before, never been outside of the state of Ohio, some of them never out of the city for that matter. But for them to have that opportunity, to the exposure, to have the Department of Education. If you couldn't hear the young lady, what she was saying was she was speechless because of their performance. And she came over there to just award our students to let them know that how deeply impressed she was. She said for 19 years that she has not had a group to come and inspire her the way that these scholars have done. And she's been there. So it says a lot about those students.
Mr. Wilson.
And we just want to just thank, a lot of the staff is here, a lot of the teachers that really stood behind a lot of our scholars to make sure that we were going, and the central office is sitting over here, and everyone else, that we just want to say thank you. And if you have any,
I got one thing.
Yes.
Can you just tell them how you prepared them to go on about your trip? Because I think a lot of people need to know that.
actually, we were, it was important, once I began asking questions and, just, of course, forming a relationship with a lot of our scholars, I noticed a lot of them never been on an airplane before. So I went to the superintendent and seen if we can have a field trip to the airport. So, and thank you, Soup. It was very instrumental in getting us to the airport, talked to the president of operations there, and got our scholars there to the airport to go through TSA screening just to see what it was like, so we wouldn't hold up the lines because it was a big group. Mm-hmm. So that really helped and inspired and motivated them even more. So again, thank you. Okay.
Any questions? Y'all any questions for Mr. Wilson?
Board?
Or the students.
Thank you. Mr. Freeman?
Mr. Wilson, fantastic job. I want to thank this band. I'm a Tiger, a loyal Tiger, and to hear from outside of Warrensville how great our band did from other areas, man, it's outstanding. So I'm proud of all of the band members. But
Give yourselves a hand.
Mr. Fuller?
Yeah. I don't have, just to piggyback off to Mr. Freeman, you just showed a great, example of what this city, this community can come together and do, especially the students who were, out there in the forefront and showed a great example of what this community can be. Absolutely. And what it can be in the future as well. So I just thank you for that as well. Right. Thank you again.
All right. Ms. Milner?
I don't have a question. I'm almost like the president of the board in Hawaii. I'm kind of speechless because I'm a grandmother and I'm a mother, and I'm just so proud. I'm just so filled with joy just to see our young people be exposed to this, and I just think this is just one of the fantastic trips that we're going to encourage our young people, because more exposure you get, the more knowledge you're going to have. Mm-hmm. So I'm just so proud of you guys.
Mm-hmm. They also learned a lot about the culture, but if I can, I just want to say that when you see the marching band students, mm-hmm. they spend their entire summers up here for 4 hours a day, all throughout the summer, throughout football season. They're all year round, holidays, they're at parades, when the summertime is over, during the break. Mm-hmm. So they're nonstop. So these scholars that you see, I mean, we're working on the academics. We're going to keep that as the forefront, but they work very extremely hard. They also learned a lot of the culture, but I want to, if I can have one of the students speak about the culture.
We got time.
We got time for the
kids. It was, where is she at? Gabby. Hurry up. And then we'll have Tusby come up.
There you go.
Good afternoon, board members, Superintendent Jolly, Miss Bishop. I just wanted to start off by saying thank y'all for this amazing opportunity. I mean, I never thought that I would be able to go to Hawaii because I don't really travel anywhere. I've never been on a plane or anything. But to go down there with a purpose and to be able to honor the Pearl Harbor and to be on a battleship, mm-hmm. we got to view the USS Missouri, and it was really interesting to see that this is where the people that fought for our country slept and ate and just where they were for months, and it was just so interesting. We went to the Polynesian Cultural Center and we got to learn about their culture. They raise their kids, their young men, to take care of the ladies in the house first. So from a young age, from the age of 4, they start cooking, they start cleaning, they start doing anything that needs to be done to protect the woman. And I just thought that was really interesting because you don't really see that here in Ohio. You don't see that any place really in our country. So to know that the young men really cared about their woman, the grandmothers, the mothers, the sisters, they eat first. They always put them before the men. That was really interesting to learn. And I'm just so grateful that I got to be a part of this amazing experience. So thank you and aloha.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Jolly, and everyone in this room. My name is Tusby. I'm a sophomore and a mellophone player in the marching band. I would like to say about my trip to Hawaii, it was hard to put into words. Going to the airport alone was an experience for me. I've never been in an airport, never even been that close to a plane. So, and then Hawaii itself was amazing. The people there, they're sunny just like the state, and everybody was just so nice and friendly. And I also learned a lot, not just about history, the type of history that I wouldn't be able to learn in school, but also about pride. People in the school talk about Tiger Pride, and some of them, not everybody, but some of them don't know what they mean by saying that. When I was in Hawaii, seeing the performers try to bring a piece of their culture to people who don't know anything about it, the pride they put into their performance, the amount of energy and effort, it was eye-opening. It was really inspiring. So all I really have to say about it was anybody who can, should. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Last
one. Good? We're fine. Bring them on.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Jolly. My name is Joshua Johnson. I'm a senior at Warrensville. I'm the student assistant of the band. I want to start by saying thank y'all for this wonderful opportunity. A lot of us would not be able to see this opportunity without your help and the help of our staff. So I want to thank y'all for that. I praise y'all for that. One thing that I learned that was so important to me was about the battles that went on. When I first learned about Pearl Harbor, I always thought that they all came at once, that it was just one single attack. But when I went down there, I learned that they came in waves. It wasn't just one wave, it wasn't just two waves. They came day by day, and they didn't just attack by planes. They had miniature submarines. So that was a lot to learn, and learning it was really heartfelt learning that day by day after them ships got taken down, you could hear banging, you could hear cries, you could hear screams. So that was very heartfelt. And learning more about their cultures, it was so important to me. What we see here in Cleveland, Ohio, it's a whole bunch of hate, killings. Down there they so friendly to each other. You don't got a high homicide rate. You don't see people fighting all day. The most you will see down there is two people wrestling. It's a friendly place to be. It's somewhere everybody should be. And I want to thank y'all for that.
Good job.
Thank you. Everyone that's come up here has thanked us, but I really want to thank you. I want to thank each and every one of you guys. I mean, you went there, you represented our district, our city, our community wonderfully. My heart is overjoyed right now. Hearing the one gentleman say he had never been close to a plane and he got this opportunity. I remember when this was brought to us maybe about a year ago. At that point, we decided, they were going to do fundraisers or the like, but it didn't matter. They were going. They were going. And this right here, this today makes everything worthwhile. And we are so proud of y'all right now. We are so proud of the way you represented yourselves, your family, this board, this district, your teachers, your administrators. We couldn't be more proud of a group of individuals than we are right now. So one more time, let's hear it for these young people. And Mr. Wilson, I would like to thank you for the wonderful job you've done academically and performing with this band. You're a beacon in this community. We completely appreciate you coming here and doing what you have done. And we can't wait to see you continue to do what you've done with this wonderful group. So thank you, and thank you all. All right. I forgot we had a meeting to conduct. Get to this pesky board business stuff. Oh, no, we got some more good stuff. Next, we're on item 1.8, board reports. And the first item on the board reports will be the winners of our Scholar Christmas Card Contest. So at this time, could I have at the podium from the middle school, Miss Olivia Taylor, from the elementary school, Miss Alyssa Jackson, and from the high school, Miss Dorian Jones.
I just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to enter in the contest and to come here. And I just want to say thank you for the gift. And yeah.
I just want to say thank you for my mom for helping me with these ideas and like helping me like come up with like all the stuff she had helped me do.
Let me do the other contest now too. Okay. And this is the card that I made. No, this is our third winner, Dorian Jones, who wasn't able to be here. So I will accept the award from Ms. Jones. So come on, let's take our picture. Let's take our picture, y'all. Come on. All right. Oh, I thought you was going to do it.
Yeah. Are you good? Just give a little background.
All right, next up, I'd like for Miss Andrea Mitchell to come up, Councilwoman Mitchell, if she could come up briefly. This mic better. So the city council called us about 3 weeks ago, and they wanted to institute a contest, an essay contest, entitled "Establishing Pride in Home." Basically, this is a contest in which the principles of Kwanzaa, our students are asked to write an essay about the principles of Kwanzaa. Today, Mrs. Mitchell, Councilwoman Mitchell, will read our top essays. She will read one from every school. You will find these essays are very, the sense of pride that you just heard with the band, to read what these young people have written and their commitment and dedication and love for the city is profound. So at this time, Ms. Mitchell, if you could come on up.
Season's greetings, everyone. I have with me one of my residents first, India Struther, who is an alumnus of Warrensville Heights, K through 12. As well as myself, pre-K through 12, Eastwood. And the spirit is just everywhere. This is the perfect time of year to just not just say things, but to listen to what people have to say. And our scholars had a lot of wonderful things to say. Last month, I had the privilege to see Stephanie Mills at a concert for National League of Cities. And this one thing, and I'm not going to disparage her and hold your ears, but really one thing that stands out when I think about everything that's happening here in this contest is, when I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. And when you hear the words from these students, you should feel that same love.
The first essay I would like to read
is Alyssa Jackson's essay, who wrote her essay around the Kujichagulia principle. I am proud to call Warrensville my home. It is where I live with my family and attend Warrensville Heights Elementary School. I am in the 4th grade, and the teachers are fantastic and very nice and helpful. When I have a question or I don't understand, they help me to believe in myself and help me answer the question, and I have self-determination. There are also counselors who you talk to about your feelings and hard times in life. Home is happy and fun, and Warrensville is home of the Tigers and is fun. My favorite event is the summer festival in August because people get together to celebrate, play games, eat, ride, face painting, and dancing. Another Warrensville event was when the fire station took time out of their busy schedule to decorate for Christmas and have Santa say hi and Merry Christmas and give us a gift bag. My self-determination is to be able to braid my Barbie's head of hair and put it in a style and add beads and ribbons. Feeling good is home. I get so much joy and self-determination when I crochet and draw. Home is special because of love and happiness shared with one another, talking, laughing, taking pictures, and playing match cards and making videos. And Warrensville is where helping others happens every day. And happiness is eating cheese pizza with fries and a salad with sweet and sour dressing and chocolate chip cookies with ice cream. Home is love. Love is home.
All right.
This essay is Umoja. This is surrounded by the principal Umoja. This is from Logan Tucker. I am proud to call Warrensville Heights home because of the people there. The people there are caring and helpful. They also have unity. Unity is when you stay together as a family and community. When we talk about Kwanzaa, Umoja stands for unity. For example, Trunk or Treat is when the community gathers and meets at South Point Hospital and gives back by providing food, treats, and family activities. My family and I have been attending Warrensville Heights annual Trunk or Treat for the past 3 years. Another example of Umoja is when Warrensville Heights High School homecoming game. They have food trucks and Kona ice, which is my favorite, and all other good stuff too. I am proud to call Warrensville Heights my home because of the people there. The people there demonstrate collective work and responsibility. Collective work and responsibility is when you can solve problems together as a team, which is also known as Umoja, the third day of Kwanzaa. For example, I am a member of the Warrensville Heights Elementary Drama Club. The Drama Club this year is organizing a fundraiser to raise money for new costumes. This is just one way my friendly city demonstrates Umoja. The last reason I am proud to call Warrensville Heights my home is because of our purpose. Purpose is when you build a bright future for our community, which is known as NIA, the 5th day of Kwanzaa. For example, every year around fall and winter time, me and each of my classmates are provided with new coats to keep us warm. This is just one of the ways my school shows that they care about providing purpose for us. And this is the last reason I am proud to call Warrensville Heights my home.
Trey Hendricks is a 7th grader in the middle school, and he says, Warrensville Heights is a special place to me because I've lived here my whole life. 7th grade, his whole life. It is also a special place to me because of the people. I think we've already started feeling that. Get the feels. The people are kind, honorable, and respectful. Warrensville Heights has made me better by boosting my social skills. Growing up, I was quiet, even though I still am. You know, that's Trey, not me. And he goes on to say, in Warrensville Heights, in and out of school is always welcoming. Another reason why Warrensville Heights is a special place to me, because this place has taught me many things about life just by observing. A Kwanzaa principle that stands out to me is Moja. The principle stands out to me because I think it best relates to Warrensville Heights, because no matter what the situation is, Warrensville will always find a way to be together, come together, and resolve the problem. I also think Warrensville is a very creative place. Warrensville will always have a special place in my heart because it is very unique. Warrensville Heights is also, where am I? One of the special because of the opportunities that the city has to offer. Some of the many programs in the schools are culinary, Top Golf, esports team, marching band, Kings on a Mission. It's also a special place to me because of the many sports opportunities like basketball, football, volleyball, track and field, and many more. Another reason why Warrensville Heights is special to me because of the cool activities you can do around, like Adrenaline Monkey Adventure Park. These are the reasons why Warrensville Heights is special to me. Again, that was Trey Hendricks in 7th grade, and then one of our high schoolers, Van Martin, cool name. And Van Martin says, Warrensville Heights is a special place because this is a city of love and unity, Moja. We have our ups and our downs, but one thing about Warrensville is that we always have that spark in our city. We will always have togetherness and bond. One thing about this city that it leaves a mark on you when you leave the city. It leaves memories and the spirit in your body that always brings you back. Every day I watch people that have left and come back here and talk about how much the school has shaped them into the person they are today. Also, how it taught them life lessons. In my opinion, Warrensville shaped me in a way. I was there in kindergarten, 1st grade and 2nd grade. Then I left and I came back to the district in 7th grade. Way before I came back, I was in a dark place in my head. I was just now trying to find myself and figure out who I wanted to be. The day I stepped back into the school, it changed my life tremendously and fast. I began to grow more, and my creativity, my kuumba, began to grow. The teachers helped me more than anything. I have had some great teachers these past 3 years that I've been back, motivating me and helping me so I can become a better me. Warrensville Heights is a unity, umoja, and a family all in one. It can break you or it can make you. It's all about how you take what comes with this city, because we can sometimes be crazy. But at the end of the day, Warrensville feels like a home and somewhere safe you can go. We all watch each other, and for the most part, we protect each other like we're a family. Once you become a Warrensville Tiger, you're always going to be a Warrensville Tiger. That's just our culture. That's how we run things. From the staff at the schools, the staff on the board, the police officers, etc. It shaped me and helped me find who I am. Are you willing to let it help you? That's from Van. Thank you so much, Mr. Jolly, for allowing us to work on this project, and he will announce the winners on Friday, but this is just a sample. To me, this is the gift, and it's probably the best present I'll have this holiday season. Have a wonderful holiday.
All right, thank you very much.
Good job, Council.
Ms. Mitchell, thank you very much for your dedication putting this together, and this was a very nice essay.
It's the students.
Right, and Alyssa's just killing the game, huh? She's just killing the game. All right. Next on the agenda, last month, the board, Dr. Rock, Mr. Jolly, myself, we attended what's called the Capital Conference down in Columbus. And very briefly, I'm going to have my fellow board members give a brief synopsis and takeaways from the things that we experienced at the conference. I'll start with Mr. Freeman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is probably my 10th year going to the Ohio School Board Association Capital Conference, but this was the best for me. I did attend over 5 different sessions that they gave, and I'll just highlight the 3 that actually attracted me. One was a holistic approach to actually approving students' attendance. So Ontario Local School District in Richmond County had did ways. They were at like 70% attendance across the school district. They did competitions. They went to teachers by classroom. And in the course of 2 years, they went from a 70% absentee to a 92% as of today. So they went up 22% in 2 years. But that was just the approach they took with the teachers, the educators, the principals in the building, along with the superintendent and the board. The second was empowering cultures. It was cultivating student success. It actually had challenges too, but like how we have Tiger Ways and College Now and Tiger Paws, they did the same approach. This was a school in Mansfield, Ohio, but they did ways to actually find, and we always said on this board, meet our scholars where they are. So we want to give them, like Superintendent Jolly, he always comes up with an ideal, or the board tells him, hey, what can we do to engage our scholars? So it was just a way that them engaging these scholars to actually find out what they want to do. All of our scholars would not attend a college, and they want to be a firefighter. They may want to be in hairstylist or a barber, which those are the things we're bringing, or a DJ. So I thought that was good by Mansfield. And the last actual presentation I attended was social media and the youth of mental health. And I know social media is big, and I know your parents are trying to police all of you on it. But when you own it, you got to be smart as a scholar, especially as a Warrensville scholar. I always started this saying like 5 years ago. I told people in other districts, it's what we do. It's like, how you guys do that? How you send a band to Hawaii? It's what we do. It's in our DNA, so it's what we do, you know. But you have to be smart when you be on the social media. You can't gather and go back and forth and try to fight somebody on social media. So I got that out of it. But the best thing for me, and I'm glad my whole board was it, is receiving the All Ohio School Board member. So I'm one of 5 in 2024 that received the highest honor out of 3,500 school board members throughout the state. So I'm proud to represent Northeast Ohio. I'm prideful that they all voted for me. And I want to thank all of you because you guys make me better every day.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Freeman. Before I go on to Mr. Fuller, I want to reiterate a point that Ray just made. There are 3,500 school board members in the state of Ohio. And at this Capitol Conference, they honored 5 of them, one from each region. And for this region, we had one of the All Ohio board members. So congratulations again, Mr. Freeman. But based on sheer numbers alone, it was a remarkable accomplishment, and you represent us well. Thank you very
Chairman.
much.
I appreciate it.
All right. Next up, Mr. Fuller.
Yes, this was my first year attending this the OSBA, and I got so much out of it while I was there. I attended several sessions, being a first year member. And I said this at one of the last meetings we had, that a lot of the sessions that I did attend and a lot of the things that a lot of the districts around this state were talking about were a lot of things that this board and this school district already is doing and has implemented. But a couple sessions that did stand out for me was one that I attended on with Dr. Rock, actually, and it was the ABCs of the Treasurer. And it was a fun way for them to use the alphabet to talk about some of the terminology that the Treasury Department uses and some of the things that they do. And it was a way to actually see the inner workings of the treasurer as well as his staff and some of the things they go through on a daily basis. Also, another session that I attended that I was very, very attracted to was session that was put on by the OSBA Black Caucus that was taught by actually the teacher of the year. Her name was Dania Pinckney from the Twinsburg City School District. And the session was about addressing the needs of the whole Black child. And what it did was it talked about stepping outside of the box and looking at the Black child from the standpoint of the socioeconomical disadvantages that they sometimes face, especially in this district that is predominantly black. And it talked about some of the things that a lot of the kids deal with that talk about lack of self-esteem and some internalized racism that comes from the challenges growing up with the lack of social and economic resources that a lot of our children have a tendency to deal with that we may not be aware of at times. And that session was just one that really put into focus things that we may not look at sometimes. We may not see until they may be too late. And to actually be a part of a session like this, it addresses these issues. And it has you looking at things that we may not look at times. And so that was a session that really, really intrigued me and gave me some purpose, added purpose here at this school board. So.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fuller. Ms. Bierman?
It's most, well, I don't know whether most of you guys know me, but my focus has always been on what we can do better for our children. So the first thing that kind of caught my mind, the first workshop that caught me was how we empower the future of our young people. And so I'm sitting there and I'm listening to what all these programs that they have brought into the school. And the one I'm talking about is in Hickley, Ohio. And I was so impressed with it because they have a grant. They went and applied for a grant called Ohio Career Technical Education Equipment Grant Program. I like that program because it would pay for young people to be trained while they're in school. So when they come out of school, they will already have a skill. And that really impressed me. This grant can better prepare scholars to be career ready upon graduation. You can't ask for more than that. I can't ask for it. As long as we can prepare our young people. And I'm saying, if they got it, we can get it. You know, so I talked to Mr. Jolly about it, and I'm hoping that someone in the district can apply for this grant. And we can bring different equipments into the school, train our young people about these, how to do certain things. Because once you leave, sometimes you can't turn back the clock. But if you get it while you're here, that makes such a big difference. A big difference. And it said connecting our classroom learning to real world experience and how work learning training can reshape education. And we have to do that. Again, we have to accept the fact that majority of our children are not going to go to college. That's a given. But it does not say that we can't train them. So when they walk out of Warrensville Heights High School, they have a skill to do something. And that's my goal. And that's why I really enjoy going to that particular workshop. Another workshop I went to that I was impressed with is called Appreciation, the art of appreciating each other. And I want to say tonight that I really appreciate Miss Irvin for the elementary, Miss Bishop, Mr. Jolly. We have to say thank you and show appreciation each day that our teachers, our principals, and Mr. Jolly comes into our school and make a better place for our children. I was impressed with that. The trainer said that we should do at least 10 things a day to show people how we appreciate them inside the school. And again, that falls on the principal and that falls on Mr. John. And I believe that the environment is the key to learning. It's just the key. If you got good teachers, and we do have some excellent teachers, I must say, and we have excellent principals that is invested in our children. I was able to say that. that I don't have to worry about Miss Bishop not doing her job because I know she is, or Miss Irvin not doing her job because I know she is. So the guys asked me, he said, well, how do you know? I said, by the environment. When you walk into an environment and you see positive things happening, you know the teachers, you know the principals are doing their job. And I was so impressed about that. And again, Mr. Jolly, I'm going to say thank you again, because I want to let you know that I truly appreciate all that you do for our young scholars.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Newman. When I go to these different conferences and developments and the like, I go down there with the mindset of trying to grab things that other districts are doing and bring them back and, you know, see what they have that can help our district. But more times than not, I find out that our district is actually ahead of the curve in a whole lot of matters. I want to reiterate something that Mr. Fuller, he said it. When I was new, I found out the same thing. Things that, you know, that they have their best practices, they're doing this thing and that thing. And instead of wanting to bring them back, we end up being examples to them as what is already going on in this district. For example, I went to a session, it was called Principal Leadership Matters. And they were talking about how engaged principals create engaged teachers who in turn create engaged students. But when I would talk to our administrators, our upper administrators that I have, more contact with about what's already going on in our schools, I find that these things are all already going on. They were talking about evidence suggests that having an effective principal contributes substantially to student achievement. And as I've seen, our achievement grow, it can be directly attributed to our principals. So more so than they, us capturing something, it just, to me, kind of reiterates the great job that is already going on in this district. So I would like to thank Ms. Thompson, Ms. Salter, Ms. Irvin, Ms. Bishop for the great job that you are already doing. And I just find that you guys end up being examples instead of us having to get things and bring them and implement them here. And for the sake of time, I'll just do that one so that we can move right on. And next on the agenda, 1.9, superintendent report.
Yep. So for the sake of time, I'm gonna be real brief also, but I'd like to bring up Miss Bishop and her team. Miss Bishop and her team, they have a special presentation.
So for, again, sake of time, as you all can see, you talked a lot about Tiger Pride and appreciation, and our team wanted to present the board with these amazing Tiger sweatshirts that everybody is really looking forward to having. We wanted to give that to just say thank you for everything that you all do to support our team and what we're doing at the high school. And as you can see, after being at work for almost 12 hours, they're still here. So I do want to thank them, and I'll have to apologize to Coach O because I'm not at the girls' basketball game right now, and I'll get in trouble for that. So we're going to go ahead and present this to you all. It has your names on them, on the bags. Yeah. Okay, here. Look on the back of the bag. I think on the back of the bag. Yep. That's Mr.
Thank you, brother.
Roberts. Back to him. Yep. So again, just thank you all for everything that you do as a board to support us. And as everyone has already shared here, Superintendent Jolly is amazing. He doesn't like to be acknowledged. He knows I don't pay attention to that. I do it anyway. Because as you said, Ms. Newman, you have to acknowledge when people are going above and beyond to do what they need to do for kids. And that's this entire staff that's behind me. We have 4 new staff members that just joined us. Ms. Tozak, Mr. Todd, Mr. Villum, and Mr. Smith. And just coming out, being a part. They're at the games. The kids get to see them at the games. All of that makes a difference. When the band came back, we had students out in the rain welcoming them back. Miss Coley. She was there and she said, you know, this reminds me of how the Tiger Pride used to be. And so we're bringing that Tiger Pride back. It was already here. We're just revitalizing it, right? And bringing it back. And so we just wanted to say thank you. That's it.
Oh, thank you very much, Ms. Bishop. Thank you all. Thank you. All right.
T-shirt.
That's it. They're about to leave.
All right. Very nice. I don't even know what to say. Right. This has been an outpouring of love meeting. It's been a love meeting.
I got a couple things to say. So, I know we got the choir here. These are all our people. I want the other people to hear though, but this is what, what you saw tonight is what we have strived for since we've been back. This sense of community that has made many of us become who we are. The love that you saw, you got council people, the connectedness with the community. Right now, the mayor is having a meeting at the high school. On last Friday, we did a movie with the Luther Vandross documentary at the school. This is a unique place. I think that to see people who look like us, who make decisions, who make good decisions, who are good stewards of the money and are able to bless the people. And this work is all about blessing the people that we all serve. The community sends us 2,000 students every single day. Miss Hickman got to get them to school safe. Once they get to school, they got to get into school safe. Then once they in the school, we got to feed them. We got to have security guards. We got to have all these different components that make our school district great. This morning we had a group of teachers that came from all over. Miss Thompson was in there as we talked to those teachers. And I think what sets us apart is that we lead with love. That's it. I think in order to work here, you got to have a heart and a love for the students. If you don't have it, I don't think this is the place for you. Because the expectation is that you're going to do what's best for children. That you're not going to be focused on you, because when you signed the contract, you decided that you wanted to work for children. That's the way I look at it. And when we hire principals and we hire teachers and we hire security guards and we hire custodians, that's what we're looking for. People who care about students, because if you are a custodian and you don't clean, that means you don't care about the students, because the students got to go into that room that's dirty and germs and so forth. So I'll just say that to say, working for a board of education who cares about the students, who move mountains to make things happen, because in a lot of places that trip to Hawaii wouldn't have happened. The trip to the Mardi Gras wouldn't have happened. A lot of things wouldn't have happened because everybody's not as invested or care or lead with love or that we do here. So for all the people who are watching and people who are working here, this is a unique opportunity. It's a unique time. I'll say a unique time to go for where we started. If you remember, our board meetings was at the old board in a room that was half this size. There were only about 10 seats was in there. Then we moved to the high school that was falling apart. Those people were here. No. We were the lowest ranked district in the state. We had no systems, no processes. We didn't know where students were. We didn't have an idea. I don't even know if the teachers knew the standards. Some did, some didn't. And to come from that point now where we can tell where a student is in pre-K, kindergarten, we can provide intervention and support to that student, to have, how many people's in the building, Ms. Thompson? 30, 20 something people in the building, and for them to see kids learning and teachers teaching, and them, they asking Ms. Thompson, how do y'all get the kids to behave? I mean, that just tell you what the expectation was, that they think that they was coming into a zoo, that they were going to come into places, kids running around and acting crazy. And at the end of the day, every day, we have to continue to prove the point to the world that this is not that type of place. Now, we do have struggles, issues, things happen on a continuous basis. We have things we have to continue to grow on. But I think, and I can say this about our team, is that every day, I believe our team give 100% effort to ensure that our students have the best. Tonight on the agenda, we have some comments and some goings on the agenda today. I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Loretz today in his last board meeting. He's retiring after 2 years in our district. Let's give him a round of applause. I'd like to thank him because he did a great job with our security department, with stabilizing our security department by replacing a lot of people who left before he came, and he hired quality officers who, again, had a heart for the students, who he holds accountable, who are at every game, every event, and doing the work that's necessary. And then also tonight we have on the agenda our recommendation for hiring for our football coach. We have Mr. Bernard Russ here. And just share about him, Mr. Russ is our culture coach at the high school, which is basically dean of students. But Mr. Russ has extensive experience. He played in the NFL. He's coached over 22 years. We expect a state championship next year.
Yes, we do.
The expectation is high.
Expectation.
No, the expectation to win. But no, I just want, I know this is a long meeting. We want it, once we get to the voting and all those things, I just want to get it out, about Mr. Loretz. Also about Coach Russ, because we have very high expectations for success. What we saw with the band, what we see every day. I see our curriculum department every day in the rooms, in the classrooms, coaching, helping, assisting. That's the model we started. When we came here, it was only one person in curriculum, one person. Then we expanded to 2. Then we expanded to 3. It's been a lot of work put in, and I hope that people, because it's not written and documented in a way that you can share with the world, but there was a lot done to get us to this position, to be sitting here today in this new facility, to have all our students sitting in new facilities, from a place that was failing and was on its way to die when we got here. Under 1,500 students to almost 2,000 today. And when people ask the question, people don't come to something that's dying. They don't transfer to places and move places that they don't believe in. So when all that negativity, and I hear it every single day, and people complaining and got all this stuff to say about this and that, one of the things I pride myself on is doing what's right. And we're going to do what's right every single day for the children. We're going to do what's right for the adults, because if the adults are treated right, they're going to treat the children right. And then if you don't treat the children right, people got to have the courage to get rid of people who don't.
Right.
So, and the board has always supported us whenever those decisions had to be made. So I just want to publicly acknowledge the board and thank you for your support. I think that you should celebrate the success of the board and the success of the team here that's worked hard for 10 years. They've done a great job. Miss Shanita Hickman was a bus driver, took over the department. You don't hear any complaints at all about our buses. Let's give her a round of applause of her. But that's a professional. She's a professional and a perfectionist, and she is outstanding. And she don't get her due, so I just want to publicly give you your due, because you do. When we sleep, a lot of us sleep. She's working 6 o'clock in the morning. She is making sure those buses is running. And she got on me the other day when I didn't call school early enough on that Thursday. But we was waiting because, I don't like calling out school. So I was waiting to see if them streets was clear. And I got a little late to it, but I do appreciate that feedback, because it affects people's lives if you don't call it early enough. Right. So that was great feedback. And we do try to call it before 6, but that day we thought we could go. So, but that concludes my report. I just wanted to thank people, thank our principals, thank our directors, because this is hard work, but it's hard work. And when you work from the heart, it's really not work. It's what we do. It's service, and we get paid a lot to serve people. So.
And I want to say one thing. I didn't see Miss Thompson back in the back there, and I want to say thank you as well, because I've been in her building and I really appreciate the control. And I know the kids are learning in that particular building. And you guys know that I feel that pre-K through fourth grade is the foundation. You know, if you can master that, give them a good foundation in their learning, they'll be okay in high school. But you got to give it to them in elementary. So I really appreciate it. And thank you. I'm going to thank you. I'm going to be thanking, since that workshop, I'm going to be going to thank people everywhere. Because I would just want you to know that I really, truly appreciate everything you guys do for our scholars. You know, when I see them out in the streets, they are well respected. I see them at different little jobs, and I'm so proud of them. But it comes from the school when you lay a good foundation, and you guys have done that. And Mr. Jolly, again, thank you, because again, we have hired some fantastic people who generally, Mr. Perry, truly cares about our scholars. Right, Mr. Perry? I do. Okay.
All right. Ms. Newman, I'd like to thank you for the thank yous.
I'm going to be thanking people all the time. I'm going to be thank you.
I believe you.
That's all, just hug.
And next item on the agenda
Hug each other.
is our treasurer's report, Dr. Rock.
Thank you. Now for some boring information.
Thank you, Dr. Rock.
Sorry about the typo on my title page. The next page, please. Okay, so this information just came out from the county auditor. I just got it today, and I wanted to present it immediately. These are our assessed values for the school district. Residential is 160 million, business 351 million, and public utilities 22 million. So that means if you took all of our properties, this is what we add up to. The most important number here is the 534 million. If we were going to have a levy, 1 mil would bring in $534,000. So that's what you use that data that's a quick fact to use. The next slide, please. Then expanding on this, I wanted to show you where it grew from last year. It went from 423 to 534. And we talked about this way back in March. That's why I had the typo at the beginning, because I wanted to go back to when we started talking about this. So our values went up from 423 to 534. Residential went up 50 million. Business 58 million, public utility 2 million. But again, with the workings of House Bill 920, this does not mean that your real estate taxes are going up by the same amounts. Next slide, please. So then on this, we'll see the percentages of change in percentages. So residential went up 45%, business 20%, public utility 11%. Next slide, please. So of this data, we could determine who are our taxpayers, and the picture is relatively still the same. Before we had 74% of business and public utility. Public utility is actually the state of Ohio, and 26% for residential. That's notched up to 30%, and business and public utility is 70%. And that's usually about what I've been using, 70 to 30. So it's notched up a little bit, but it remains the same. Next slide. So then on the agenda tonight, there's nothing to vote on in my section, but it's two policies that I wanted to bring to the board as proposals. And then if the board would it's at your discretion if you want to proceed with the procedure on how there's a first reading and a second reading. So I'm not saying tonight is any reading, it's just me presenting some ideas for, and usually it's unique when I bring policies too, because it usually comes from a unique angle. The debt management policy was recommended by the auditors, And I've been working on this for some time, and I had the bond counsel, Squire Patton Boggs, review it. So this has all been reviewed by them. And the reason they were recommending this to us is, well, first of all, most districts don't have a debt management policy. And they saw how strategic and advanced our debt is, how we manage it, and we're strategic with our resources, that they said that we should have a policy to document this. So then that remains. It's in board policy. So 10 years from now, 20 years from now, they could see the roadmap. So it memorializes the flow of debt. It captures the district's strategic use of debt, and it captures our use of refinance opportunities. That's where we lay right now. We're looking for refinancing. Next slide, Pete, please. Also, some key parts of the management policy is documenting the pathway of options, listing purposes, document the use of cash finance. Cash finance would be when we don't use debt. And then debt monitoring, which is something that we do every year. You may not see that, but I have to report to the investors that I have to give them certain pieces of information to stay in compliance with that. And then an investment of proceeds. Next slide, please. The other policy is our credit card policy. And again, we drafted this one way back when it was required for all school districts in Ohio to have a credit card policy. So we haven't changed it since. And this is the edits on here, there's just some edits, and they were reviewed by Dan Lotter from Peppa Wagner. And it's edits that are an existing board policy. So it's due to the expanded use of credit cards. And, everybody knows now that there's a lot of times where you have to make an online payment. They don't even accept a purchase order or a check. So as that has expanded, we need more credit limits on our cards. Next slide, please. So this original policy had our credit limits at $65,000, and there's multiple times in the year where we're hitting those, and we're trying to juggle between the cards and especially in the summertime when there's a lot of professional development. So I'm proposing us to make this policy to where it does not exceed $200,000. I wouldn't want to hit that limit right immediately, but I would like to recommend having a larger balance for my treasurer's card, which we're keeping it at about where it's at right now. A larger balance card specifically designed for professional development. And that would be, we would use that for all professional development. So if a curriculum department has a trip going out, it would go on that. So in the summertime, this way, when we have those mass amounts of training that we're going and we're paying for, we would have that credit card and it would have enough balance to cover that. And then the other designated card is just purely for Amazon. Amazon has become a great, we get some great deals off of Amazon, but we have to use the card associated with that. Again, that's one where you can't pay by check for anything from Amazon. So and have one designated just for Amazon, and then two smaller cards just designated for general use that we have. So next slide. Now the Ohio School Finance Resource Guide has arrived. Find the resources, answer the questions, get the facts. And this book provides a roadmap for the reader to find Ohio school finance information to public school districts in Ohio.
Dr. Rock, I have a question.
Yes.
Who is the author of that book that you're referencing?
Me.
Okay, all right. Congratulations.
You'll see on the next, the next slide, please. So if you want to turn to page 3, the third paragraph of the cover, or I'm just going to read exactly what I wrote here. I sincerely thank the Board of Education and Superintendent Jolly at Warrensville Heights for their support and trust in everything I do for the school community. This is in the book. We have some outstanding accomplishments at the district with more to come. It's truly amazing when a leadership team works together with high levels of trust and support. And the next slide is a picture of the book.
Right. Congratulations, Dr. Rock.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Dr. Rock.
Dr. Rock wrote the book.
Yes.
For the credit cards, who has authorization for the credit cards?
I control them all in the treasurer's office.
Okay, so they have to come through you to get one, right?
Yes, and we keep them locked up. So people have to follow the procedures that are listed in that policy to come with a requisition and a purchase order before they could check one out. So they could check it out. But predominantly, they'll just check it out, make the order, and bring the card right back same day.
Oh, okay. All right.
Dr. Rock, would you like to hit the highlights of the draft now? I mean, I expect that we would probably rule on this one during our final meeting of next month. But do you want to hit the highlights now, or would you like to wait until we put it on the agenda for approval?
Oh, on the draft policies?
Yes, sir. It's your choice.
I would like the board to be able to read it, and then, like in the first reading, I
Okay.
could do a summary, because then everybody had a chance to read them. Because some of the policies are 3-4 pages long,
Outstanding.
and I was just skimming the top for executive summary tonight.
All right. Well, with that, thank you, Dr. Rock. We'll bypass section 2 and move to section 3. Superintendent's recommendations and presentations for board action, administrative staff. Board, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move item number 3 on tonight's agenda, the content superintendent's recommendation and presentation for board action, administrative staff, looking for items 3.1 through 3.2.
I second it.
All right. It's been properly moved and seconded. Mr. Jolly.
Yes, 3.1 is accepting the retirement of Mr. Brian Loretz. 3.2 is accepting the recommendation for the hiring of Mr. Terrence Calloway as the Director of Safety and Security. Mr. Terrence Calloway served as the Director of Security at FAMU University and also Tuskegee University and Austin Peay University. He also was a Warrensville police officer for 8 years. He also ran the DARE program at Randallwood.
Is he here?
He is not here. He had airplane problems. He tried to get here for the meeting because he's still in Alabama. But Mr. Calloway comes highly recommended, has experience in Warrensville, and will be moving back to the city from Alabama.
Board, any questions?
None.
Dr. Rock, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Moomin?
Yes.
Mr. Freeman?
Yes.
Mr. Fuller? Yes. Mr. Roberts?
Yes. Motion passes 4-0. Ms. Loretz, would you please approach the podium, please? No, I had. You still work here right now. No, Ms. Loretz, I would like to thank you for your service to the district in this time. You've done like a great job. We appreciate everything that you have done. I personally respect the decision that you made to join a certain organization back in 1987, but we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Absolutely.
So,
I would like to thank the board. My time here, as I explained to the members of Mr. Jolly's chambers last week, I came from a bigger school district coming to Warrensville. This is a family, and I appreciate everything that the board does for the community, for the students. It's unheard of. I worked under 7 superintendents. Mr. Jolly was my 8th. I've never seen anything like this guy. He does a tremendous job for the district. The kids all know him. Superintendents are not in our buildings. He's in the buildings. You are all in the building. So I'm going to be around. Keep doing what you're doing. Warrensville will always have a place in my heart, and I appreciate you sincerely. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Loretz.
Mr. Loretz, we're going to miss you. You sure you want to leave?
You riding off once.
Oh.
But it's time.
This time?
It's time.
Oh, okay.
You riding off into the sunset, sit on the porch and drink lemonade. Thank you very much, Mr. Loretz. That takes us to section 4, superintendent's recommendations and presentations for board action certificated staff. Board, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move item number 4 on tonight's agenda, the consent superintendent's recommendation and presentation for board action certified staff, looking for items 4.1 through 4.7.
All right.
I second.
Do I have a second?
I second.
No, it's been properly moved and seconded. Mr. Jolly.
Yes, 4.1 is employment of long-term sub Nia Davis at the high school, and Sean Chisholm is at the high school also. She's serving as our choir teacher. 4.2 is home instruction tutors, Sean Jones and Eddie Roberts. Those are for students who have conditions that prevent them from coming to school. And then also we have some supplemental education that we have to provide students. So both of them are able to provide it. And they've been doing it for years. 4.3 is the employment of our head basketball coach and our head middle school basketball coach, Demetrius Johnson and Brian Swift. 4.4 is the coaching supplemental. It's adding for our new head football coach who is here tonight, Mr. Bernard Russ. And 4.5 is non-coaching supplementals for our drama club. No, I'm sorry. It's for our drama club only. And then 4.7 is also non-coaching supplementals. Change. The one we have in front of us is not accurate. It's the one that's on the screen that's accurate.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
There's some changes made.
Okay.
Board, any questions?
None.
Is the coach here?
He's here.
We're gonna bring him up. He coming. Dr. Rock, would you please call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Freeman?
Yes.
Mr. Fuller? Yes. Mrs. Moomin?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes, motion passes 4-0. At this time, I would like to call up another member of that same organization I mentioned earlier. Our new head football coach, B. Russ, please.
And I would say we interviewed 6 candidates, Mr. Swift, our youth football coordinator, and our recreation director. And by far, Coach Russ had the best credentials by all of the people we interviewed. So when we make these recommendations, we are recommending the best candidate. And by far, Mr. Russ was the best candidate. So we expect big things from Mr. Russ. Mr. Russ.
First, I want to go ahead and thank my Lord and Savior. You know, a lot of people always say that, but I truly mean that because they said the Bible says that the Lord protects babies and fools. I'm no baby, but I've been a fool. Next, I want to go and thank the board, Superintendent Jolly, Ms. Bishop and her team, and then also the community for just giving me the opportunity to go ahead, continue my love of service and then showing young men on and off the football field the right way to go and do things. Last thing I would go ahead and say is we talk about Tiger pride and on the football program, we talk about the Tiger way. You go back to when I played for New England, they always talk about the Patriots way. And you see a lot of NFL teams all talking about some their way and the Cowboys way, the Browns way, and all that kind of stuff. But they don't get it right because they don't understand what does the Patriots way means. And only thing it really means is put the team first. That's it. Team first. And so what we gonna establish here in our new culture is the Tigers way. Team first.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach
So we're
Russ.
gonna have a winning team.
Yes, we are.
You see where the pressure coming from, Mr. Russ?
Right.
There's a lot of pressure.
I got you, Coach. Anything you need, I got you.
Yeah,
I'm a Hall of Famer. I got you. I got you.
All right, next, that brings us to section number 5, Superintendent's recommendations and presentations for board actions, classified staff. Board, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion on item 5 for superintendent's recommendation and presentation for board action. Classified staff looking for items 5.1 through 5.14. 5.4.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second?
I second it.
All right, Mr. Jolly.
Yes, 5.1 is accepting the resignation of a cook, cashier, and a cleaner custodian. 5.2 is the hiring of our behavioral specialist for our Fresh Start program. I am going to ask Ms. Salter if she could give us a little update on how it's going at the conclusion of this. And then 5.3 is the employment of a bus driver. I think that fills all the vacancies, correct? That's completion. So we have all of our classified staff for bus drivers. And then 5.4 is the hiring of substitute custodian.
Board, any questions? Dr. Rock, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Freeman,
Yes.
Mr. Fuller,
Yes.
Mrs. Moomin,
Yes.
Mr. Roberts.
Yes, motion passes 4-0.
Ms. Salter, can you just give us just a brief update? You've been in, the Fresh Start been running for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Can you just get a board?
Hi,
They approved it
good
last week, so you give a quick update on it.
Good
That's
evening,
all.
everyone. Board, Mr. Jolly. Yes, we began the Fresh Start program right after Thanksgiving break, and we spent the first week really getting the students acclimated to their new teachers and their behavior specialists, Ms. Thornhill and Ms. Malone. And the students are doing an awesome job. They are very excited. They have developed a culture of they are a family. They have become very in tuned and appreciative of having the opportunity to really focus on their education, having someone they could talk to who's relatable to them, and they feel open to it. They become really possessive. I'll say that, and it's in a good way. In a good way, they feel like they have a new home. They're accepted of any of the things that they, just, and it's not even flaws, but just being a kid and being understood and someone to talk to. But it's been a very positive experience. Ms. Bishop has been very welcoming for them too, as well, because they're on the high school wing, in the back by the band room, But they are they come in every day. They participate in their electives. They're in our school. They participate with their counselors. But it's been a really positive experience so far. Every day we make sure we bring them over to to the high school, to the middle school, and we visit them. And I haven't got anything but great responses from them and parents.
Okay. How many kids do we have?
15. Yes.
And talk a little bit about the other classes, the regular classes. So,
the classes that they have been in, it has quieted down a lot. But what I do see is that I have other students who have actually asked, could they be a part of the Fresh Start program?
Oh, okay.
That's in the other classes, but it has settled down a lot. The expectations are way up here because now we've eliminated some things that people felt like were barriers. So we have high expectations for sure, and but the kids are doing awesome, and it's a very positive experience. It's not that they have done something wrong, is that we want to help you to fulfill your potential. So.
And how many teachers work with you? Just you?
No, it's 2 teachers for the Fresh Start program for the 15 students.
Okay.
Yes.
And one is the behavior specialist, so her specialty is addressing behaviors. So that's what she do. She helped teach too, but she's very good with de-escalating things that other people couldn't de-escalate. Both of them. Very patient. Right. Redirect the students. I mean, the students they really enjoy it.
Salter, it's nice to hear. It's nice to hear that the program is off to such a positive
It
start.
is. It really is.
It's very encouraging.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. All right, that brings us to section 6, superintendent's recommendations and presentations for personnel and programs. Board, do I have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to move item number 6 on tonight's agenda. Superintendent's recommendation and presentation for personnel and programs 6.1 through 6.10.
Thanks very much. Do I have a second?
I second.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. Mr. Jones.
Yeah, so this is the curriculum department section. And Shannon and her team section a lot of these things. But 6.1 is the middle school learning lab. The learning lab is something the middle school has been doing for a couple of years, in which they provide after-school tutoring for students. In the 6.2 is the middle school summer academy. Again, we've done it in the past, but this is another attempt to assist our middle school students with with them being on grade level and catching them up. 6.3 is the after school program for the elementary school, Warrensville Heights Elementary School. So it's extended day and Saturday school for the elementary school. 6.4 is another extended day program for the middle school. And this one I would like the team to come up and talk about once this is over, because this is brand new. 6.5 is Title I math support, again, providing support after school tutoring for our math students. 6.6 is Tiger Tutors. This is where we will hire our students to tutor, seniors to tutor our middle school and high school students. 6.7 is the agreement with PSI. This is who we partner with to provide Title I services to people in our non-public schools that don't attend our schools. 6.8 is the approval of the HBCU trip for the girls basketball team to Las Vegas, which they'll be going on Friday. They did fundraise $9,000 of the money. So Dr. Rock does have $9,000 deposited for this trip. So it's only a $4,000 expenditure from the district. But this is an opportunity for our kids to go to Las Vegas, girls basketball team. So they will leave Friday with your approval. 6.9 is a van purchase. We discovered that one of our vans was out of compliance. Ms. Hickman explained to us that a law changed and our van that's not a wheelchair van is non-compliant. So this replaces that van and gets us back to being compliant. And 6.10 is the NVR for the high school. During the construction of the high school, the NVR, which saves all our data and our video footage, it's not large enough to secure the 30 days of footage that's necessary. In that process, we did negotiate with the construction company to get them to replace it. That we were not successful. And in this case, this gives us what we need to ensure that we are able to have video footage for the allocated amount of time.
Board, any questions, comments?
Superintendent Jolly, just one question on 6.9 on you and Ms. Hickman. Do we transport special need children?
Yeah, we do. We transfer them all over. How many different locations we transport them to, Ms. Hickman? Mm-hmm.
Well, our vans are for in district.
In district.
Okay.
But out of district, it's like, it used to be 21 different places we went, something like that.
Thank you.
Anything additional?
None.
All right, Dr.
Have them to come up and
Yeah.
the program.
She gonna tell you about the number.
I have questions about that program.
Oh, you want to have?
Yeah, before.
Beforehand? Okay.
No, they were going to discuss.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Just to quickly talk about the programs. I know the last time I was here was all the way at in the summer when I accepted a position. A lot of work has been done since then. My team, like Superintendent Jolly said, when he started here at the district, it was only a team of 1. My department has a team of 10. So we have worked really, really hard. My push was to be in the classrooms. I got it almost all of the classrooms over this semester, but my team is mandated by superintendent to get into 5 classrooms. They are required by me to get into 10 classrooms a week. So we're in the classroom, we see the work that needs to be done, and with the support of the principals, we're growing in that area, and we'll have a formal report in January when we finish with all of our mid-year testing. What we know through our observations and through the data that some students will need extended help. So that's why we have the extended day program. So you see the Saturdays. We took a different approach to Saturdays. One is we need staff to come out on Saturdays. So one thing we enacted was we call it Superstar Saturdays because we want to celebrate our staff that come out and help and support kids on Saturday. It's 3 hours long, but it's not 3 hours straight. We're working with different type of students, and we acknowledge that. So it's broken into 3 parts. The first part will be direct instruction with the teacher. The second part is an adaptive learning program, so a personalized computer program to meet their needs. And the third piece is them creating a product. We want kids to practice more of, I take this skill and this is how I apply it. This is how I can use it. This is why it's meaningful. So it'll be 3 hours. It's all 3 buildings. We'll be at the high school, and that was intentional, trying to bring in family engagement. So if a parent has a middle schooler, the middle schooler and a high schooler, they can all go to Saturday Academy in one building and make it easy there. Tiger Tutors is something we're very excited about. So today you can see we have so much Tiger pride. Just looking at tigers who want to be educators, who want to help. So I got the idea from a teacher. I put out an application. We had over 20 students, juniors and seniors, apply with teacher recommendation who want to tutor their peers. And in the application process, they mentioned how they want to help their community, how they want to support. So they'll support in all of these extended day opportunities. We have a brand new secondary literacy specialist, Miss Andries Howard, to come up and speak more about her program, because a lot of our extended day programs usually focus on intervention, supporting the kids who are behind. But as we're moving in this direction, we have more and more of our scholars who are not behind. So we want to have extended day programs focused on academics to support the kids and enrich learning that's beyond just intervening, but actually growing them in a new and innovative way. So if Ms. Howard could just come up.
How many kids do we have? Students we have in that program right now?
So it starts in January. So the Saturday Academies are 40 apiece. So we're hoping to get about 120 kids between all 3 buildings. Grades 3 through high school.
Staff for 120?
We should. So right now we're looking good for the elementary school and the high school. And then we'll also have the support of the Tiger Tutors. And then we have support from my team as well, my department. Okay. Mm-hmm. And we also took teachers and paraprofessionals, so we have enough.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Hello. Similar to what Shannon said, I'm going to be leading the coming of age in a digital world. Okay. Just for me leaving the classroom last school year, my main focus in pedagogy is constructivist approach to learning. And that is where kids have meaningful, authentic experiences. And so what we want to do on that after school program is where students get an opportunity to tell their story about how they interact with the digital world, but then research what it does to them when they're constantly interacting with technology. How do you interact? Because I don't think we teach them how to actually interact. We just throw it in their face. We don't talk about what it's doing to them emotionally, mentally, and physically. And the students will then do research projects throughout that phase. Okay. And the goal at the end is for them to do a podcast and a demonstration of learning. So in that podcast, they will have a conversation amongst each other where we get to hear the students' perspective using research-based conversations. And they're going to create thesis statements and have real dialogue that is academic based. And they also will then also have them do a display board with a QR code for their podcast. So they have a takeaway with their families and something that they have forever, like in their portfolio with a podcast. And they can speak to themselves as young adults living in a digital world.
All right. We going to be able to see their podcast?
Oh, yes. We want to have a listening party. This is my first time speaking. I'm a little nervous. So we are going to have a listening party, because I think that when you are learning, you need a product. Mm-hmm. At the end, they need to have something to take away to say, this is what I've learned, to make it meaningful. So it's going to be open up to the community and their families, that they come in and you guys can listen to their podcast and their thoughts on the digital world.
All right. Thank you.
All right. No more any additional comments or questions, board? All right, Dr. Rock, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Moomin?
Yes.
Mr. Freeman?
Yes.
Mr. Fuller?
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes, motion passes 4-0. Next item is unfinished business. We have none. New business. We have none. Correspondence. Mr. Jolly, Dr. Rock?
We have none.
All right, announcements? Any announcements at this time? Nope. All right, well, last item on the agenda, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Chairman, I'd like to adjourn tonight's meeting.
All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. Dr. Rock, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Freeman?
Yes.
Mr. Fuller?
Yes.
Mrs. Moomin? Yes. Mr. Roberts?
Yes, motion passes 4-0.